Hello, and welcome to Teen News on the Teen Channel. Today, we will be talking about the effects of smoking, what's inside a cigarette, and why smoking is bad for you. To reporter Jim Hens for this report. Thanks, George. Hello, today I'm going to tell you about what makes up a cigarette, what effects these have on you, and we will meet Kate, a smoker who will share her views with this. Now, let's begin with discussing the key ingredients used in cigarettes. The main ingredient used in cigarettes is the tobacco leaf. Tobacco is a green and leafy plant, and is grown in warm climates. But there are over 4,000 chemicals added in addition to the tobacco. At least 60 of these chemicals are carcinogenic, which means it will cause cancer. Some of the most common and well-known chemicals in cigarettes are nicotine and tar. Tar is a black sticky substance that contains many poisonous chemicals. Tar creates a thick, black coating in your lungs which damages your lungs. The chemicals that cause cancer are normally in the tar. Nicotine is the chemical that is responsible for people's addictiveness towards cigarettes. The nicotine is found in the tobacco leaf. There are many chemicals found in cigarettes that have other uses that are not listed on the cigarette package. These include ammonia, which is used in household cleaning agents, acetone, which is used in nail polish remover, or methanol, which is rocket fuel. Now let me tell you what is in tobacco smoke. Tobacco smoke is a mixture of gases and small particles made up of water, tar and nicotine, all of which are harmful. As I mentioned earlier, tar is a very messy mixture of many toxic chemicals, some of which can cause cancer. Lots of the gases in tobacco smoke are also harmful. These include carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, hydrogen cyanide, ammonia, and other toxic irritants, for example formaldehyde. Many of the ingredients used in cigarettes have been proven to be food additives, but the chemical reaction of all the chemicals burnt together has never been tested. It is difficult to find the effects of one chemical on its own. Imagine how practically impossible it would be to find effect of all the chemicals. Igniting these substances and submitting them to prolonged burning changes their properties. Due to very high temperatures, over 800 degrees Celsius, the end of a cigarette is almost like a chemical factory burning over 4,000 compounds. As you smoke, you are a chemical waste factory. I will now have an interview with Kate. She is a young woman who has something important to share with us today, and I look forward to speaking with her. She should be here any second now. There she is.
Hey Jim. Sorry I'm late.
Thanks for coming, Kate. Let's have a seat.
Sure, sounds cool.
After you.
Thanks Jim.
Take a seat, Kate.
Sure, thanks Jim.
On with our interview. So Kate, I understand you're a smoker and have emphysema that one day can lead to lung cancer.
That is correct Jim. I have been smoking since I was 15.
How did you start smoking?
Well Jim, one day, one of my friends offered me a cigarette. And since all my friends had started smoking and told me it was cool, well I started smoking. I knew smoking would be bad for me, but I didn't want to be unpopular.
If you could travel back in time to that moment, what would you have said?
Well, I would have told my friends the effects of smoking and explain how it can wreck your life.
What would you tell this generation of teenagers to say if they were offered a cigarette?
That's a great question Jim. Today's generation of teenagers are a lot more aware of the effects of smoking. They know smoking kills. There are so many ads these days that show graphically the effects of smoking. If you are offered a cigarette, you need to remember that you only have one life. So don't let others destroy your life and remind them of what they are doing to themselves. Think about your future before you accept a cigarette. There are many tragic things that can wreck your life. I used to think I was cool and popular, but look at me now. My friends don't think I am too cool now. They feel sorry for me, and I cannot go to social events because of my poor health. The message I am trying to put across today is to say no, because it's the right way to go.
Speaking of the effects of smoking, could you tell me some of the immediate or short-term effects you had when you started smoking?
Yep. Well, some effects on my circulatory system included having an increased heart rate and blood pressure. Some other effects included being dizzy, uncontrolled hand tremors, and I had abnormal coldness in the tips of my fingers and toes. There were also many effects on my respiratory system. Smoking paralyzed the cilia in my lungs, which block out irritants, which affects your immune system. Because of this, I had increased incidences of coughs and colds. There were many effects on my digestive system. This included increased acid in my stomach, which at times was very painful, and I needed medication. I also had a loss of appetite, which helped me with weight loss in the short term. However, along with loss of appetite, my senses of smell and taste were also reduced. I didn't enjoy food as much. I had bad breath, which was a consequence of every cigarette I smoked.
Very interesting. Could you now tell us the long-term effects or the effects you have now as a smoker of 10 years?
Sure, Jim. Well, as you know, I have been currently diagnosed with early stages of emphysema, which means I can't breathe properly. This is also why I talk at a fast rate because of my difficulty in breathing. If I continue to smoke, there is a high chance of me developing lung cancer, which has to do with the respiratory system collapsing. If you listen carefully, you'll be able to hear how bad my breathing is. The effects on my digestive system are stomach ulcers. Also, my close friends remind me to take mints due to my bad breath. I also have cosmetic effects, which included badly stained teeth, fingers and nails. I have had to buy very expensive eye creams due to the many wrinkles under my eyes, however they do not seem to work. My doctor has told me many times to quit because there is a high risk of me not being able to have a child, which I couldn't bear. The only problem is I am addicted to smoking.
Thank you for coming today, Kate. Your first-hand experience is so important. It has been a pleasure talking to you on Teen News.
That's my pleasure. Just remember, Jim, we need to tell our teenagers that you must say no, because it's the right way to go. Bye.
Goodbye. So George, I think you will agree that was an inspirational and informative interview with Kate. Just remember that the message still stands as say no, because it's the right way to go. This has been Jim Hans at Craigstown with this report. Back to you, George. Thanks, Jim. I think we all agree that Kate is indeed inspirational and courageous to have shared her personal experiences with us today. This may change your views about starting smoking. I hope you enjoyed this news report with Jim and Kate. Over the rest of this month, Teen News will be sharing some interesting facts about smoking. This week, we will present you with the top 6 facts. Coming in at number 1 is, cigarettes are the single most traded item on the planet, with approximately 1 trillion being sold from country to country each year. At a global take of more than $400 billion, it's one of the world's largest industries. Number 2 is, in the whole world, a whopping 3 billion plus people smoke cigarettes. At number 3, smokers make up 9 out of 10 heart bypass patients. At number 4, an estimated 5 trillion cigarette butts are littered worldwide every year, and cigarette butts take, on average, 1.5 years to break down. Disgusting, we should look into this. At number 5, about 24 billion cigarettes are sold in Australia each year. It is estimated that 7 billion of these cigarettes are littered. An estimated 100,000 tons of polluted air is exhaled by smokers in New South Wales alone each year. Coming in at number 6. The youngest smoker is a 2-year-old boy from the city of Tianjin in China. This was reported in June 2009. This must stop. News has recently come in that Kate has now been diagnosed with lung cancer and is having chemotherapy. Thank you for watching, and remember, say no, it is the right way to go. Good night. See you all next week on Teen News.